Howdy Chunky, it's the voice of reason for a Wednesday morning. We are back live tonight at 9 with the phone in, and we've got a lot to talk about. It has been quite a busy week, as you may realise. Where has Madam gone? There she is, looking resplendent. What a gorgeous... Stop breathing in and out, heavy breathing. Who do you think you are? Katie Price on OnlyFans? Anyway, the week has been interesting. We had 900 dinghy divers in just one weekend. 900, that's 10,000, Tarquin, 10,000 more than this time last year. That was on the same weekend we had 400 arrests at the Notting Hill riot, which was apparently just brilliant, with the gesticulating ladies doing their fat bottom girls, you make the rocking world go round. Yes, they got lovely bottoms and they like to bounce them. How do, Chunky? I've never interrupted my own video to heckle myself, but since filming that just a few moments ago, there have now been confirmation of 530 odd arrests at the Notting Hill Carnival. This young man says he's appalled that a lady gave a man fellatio in public, and he thinks it's disgraceful.
So there's a video circulating of a black boy getting head of a white woman at Notting Hill Carnival, and I'm disappointed.
Meanwhile, a lot of people seemingly using gardens as toilets, and the police having a nice time touching up nice young gentlemen of colour. I wouldn't say this is a great endorsement of diversity, or indeed an event that is there to promote people of colour at the Nottingham Hill Carnival. I would say it's quite embarrassing, bearing in mind the fuss that was made by the media over Tommy Robinson's 6 arrests at his previous rally that were in fact nothing to do with him. They were from the other side. 6 arrests v 530 odd arrests does put it in comparison, the disproportion of the mainstream media, who want to savage some people with absolute nonsense and ignore what would be a cancelable event if it were anything other than at Notting Hill. Do me a favour and subscribe at YouTube, a bit like the Eurotunnel. Do you remember, as quick as their lads were digging it out, our lads were filling it back in our end? Well, that seems to be what's happening with YouTube. As quick as we're going up, they knock a few people off who suddenly disappear from the algorithms. The other news that's very interesting is Farage is saying that he's not having any more of the dinghy divers. He's going to send them abroad. Yeah, it's easy to say that 4 years before the next election, isn't it? Why am I cynical about this man? I hate to say I told you so, but look at the news here. An asylum seeker from Afghanistan, who, by the way, rank #1 in the rankings for the most likely per capita to stop your wife, daughter, sister or niece, they've kicked out somebody, a veteran, from their home. I think last week I was telling you about the travellers without anywhere to stay, and indeed the next scandal would be the rentals that are being outbid by councils who have blank cheques and infinite budgets to stop you this Christmas and to make good, great patriots and indigenous people homeless. Come. Do you remember that song from Hamilton about Rise Up? The words in it are prolific about a nation that had had enough. I think Hamilton could be rewritten as St. George for 2025.
Rise up when you're living on your knees, you rise up. Tell your brother that he's gotta rise up. Tell your sister that she's gotta rise up. When my knees gotta knees.
Trump has none of these issues, by the way. They can't wait to fuck right off. It's amazing how putting guns into big city centres like Washington and Chicago has made them all want to get on the boat and go back to where they came from. Apparently over 1 million dinghy divers have cleared back south and are having none of Trump's new regime of zero tolerance. That's why I'm cynical about your man Farage. It's okay him saying we'll send them and sell them off to foreign parts, but we know the lefty radical lawyers will stop that. There is no selling the dinghy divers, you can't call them that anymore, travellers without anywhere to stay. The travellers without anywhere to stay. We mustn't send them back, say the lawyers, because it's very unsafe. What are you talking about? Half of them live in Dubai. Anyway, here's the news from this morning. If you'd like to join me tonight, I'm on here at 9 o'clock, out of breath, out of puff Tarquin up this hill. What's she doing down there? 9 o'clock, alexbelfield.com. The news in full, 40 minutes, unedited, Ofcom free, not PC and no BS. We are live and alive across the world with the no BS, not PC and Ofcom free news. It is so liberating to be able to sit here and say anything I want about anybody I want without any fear of boo-hoo, you can't say that. We don't care here. because we have the very top support from people like Donald Trump, who's heard about my brand new book, Tarquin.
All right, folks, you're not going to believe this. They've come out with a book called Surviving the Slammer. That's right, Surviving the Slammer. It's by a guy, Alex Belfield. Good guy, great guy, terrific guy. They want to sushi Alex, but he's tough. He knows what he's talking about. Believe me, he knows, and they want to ban it. Can you believe it? The fake news, the parole people, they don't want you to read it. They say all lies. It's tremendous. I looked at it. I said, this is a great book. Probably the best book. It's about survival. Nobody knows more about survival than I do. Nobody. The men in black try to lock you up for not breaking the law. I know about that, haha. So go out and get it. Surviving the Slammer. Buy it before it gets banned. Get it at alexbelfield.com. So buy it. Read it. It's tremendous. Really tremendous.
Ah, how wonderful. Yes, the old Donald is absolutely having the time of his life. Flying the flag for me, and of course we're flying the flag for the United Kingdom. And of course, little Angelica Growler has been caught having her kayak and heating it with a cigarette on board her little dinghy diver.
Hello, Chunky. Let's keep the joy.
Oh, it just won't stop, will it? I've ordered 30 more of the shushis because they're so popular, and a load more t-shirts are arriving, polos and t-shirts. If you want to get them, they're at the website, along with my Mind Your Own Fucking Business mugs, which have never been more appropriate. 100 tourists are very, very poorly in a 4-star hotel in La Manga. La Manga is a place in southern Spain, and I think it's just near Murcia, if I'm correct, and they have got big issues there. We get this every now and again, don't we, with these all-you-can-eat buffets. Do you remember when little Rishi Sunak used to do Eat Out a Friend over COVID? Well, the problem with eating out a friend is you might end up with cancer. Watch this clip.
This is now the #1 leading risk factor for throat cancer, and I'm going to explain why. You see, it's caused by this virus known as HPV, and many young girls are now getting vaccinated against this, but the protection isn't 100%.
Yes, buffets, eating things can really end up in the shite. Not very good news coming from that doctor that's saying that throat cancer is up, and it's all down to this bacteria that comes from the cock and balls and the lady foo-foo parts when you're going, and I very much advise, especially if it's me, do not try the oral technique, because let's face it, the connilingus can leave you well, in the shit if you're not careful. I mean, you're just a slip away. So I would advise against this. It is not healthy nor hygienic to be licking the private parts of a human being. I mean, we see dogs and we mock them, don't we, for cleaning themselves. Mind you, if I could do that, I'd never leave the house. But final story, Tarquin, in terms of personal hygiene, is to do with the mucky bastard. I mean, the people who like to go on nudist beaches, and apparently they are now swingers' havens. Yes, the nudist beach in Britain is being used by the swingers. And you have to ask yourself, Tarquin, who is the most popular man on the nudist beach? The man who can hold 2 cups of coffee and 12 donuts. And hang on. As you know, my big thing is the protection of children, and yet another headline that is massively, massively concerning. Children who want to transition to be transformers are allowed to do it without adult advice, according to the human rights laws that are trying to be pushed through under this lefty, radical, insane government that seem to think that the word child does not count as a child. There's a reason you become adult. That means you are legally responsible for your own actions. A child is not. Therefore, why would you allow a child to chop off its private parts? This makes no sense. Let's do a bit more of the police. Northumbria police have had to sack a policeman for going 117 miles an hour. Does seem like there's a pattern, Tarquin, of police officers that just believe they're above the law. And what is the law? Can we talk about this story? What is the law? Dad kills armed intruder. Now, okay, if they're armed, do you not have the right to protect yourself? It's going to be very interesting to see what happens in this case. Will somebody be brave enough to say, if you break into somebody's house with the intention of burglarizing it, as the Americans would say, and your intention is to cause harm and distress, and you're armed, surely you have the right to shoot them dead. That would seem perfectly fair in my country should I be Prime Minister. You have the right to defend yourself, your wife, your children, your kids, your family. That's the way it is.